Hello everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am currently 24 weeks pregnant with baby number 3. And I've been sharing this whole pregnancy journey here on YouTube. I used to do these pregnancy updates very nice and put together and staged. As time has gone on, I've realized that's just not realistic. And a lot of you really enjoy my laundry chat. So I'm gonna just sit on the floor, I'm gonna fold laundry, and I'm gonna chat to you about things that have been going on in the last month or so of this pregnancy. There have been some interesting developments, some scary moments, some things that have just been hard to process and deal with. So I guess we'll just dive right into it. Currently I am 24 weeks and 3 days pregnant, and yes, I need the app to tell me that because I can't remember that on my own. I use the Pregnancy Plus app, and currently baby is about the size of a papaya.
That's your belly. What baby caught?
Are you excited for baby?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you think it's a boy or a girl?
A boy.
You think so?
Yeah.
If it's a boy, what are we gonna name him?
I don't know. Maybe Howl?
Howl.
Yeah. Even Owl.
Owl.
Yeah, I like that name.
Okay.
But I like a name Ferrolo.
Ferrolo.
Yeah, that makes
You are full of name ideas. Okay, mommy has to film now. Can you go play a little bit?
Mom, you tried apple cake
Yeah, I have.
or cherry cake?
Maybe. Currently baby is the size of a papaya, weighing about 1.5 to 2 pounds and 13 to 15 inches in length from the head to the heel. For week 24, it says your baby's primitive memory is beginning to develop, implying that music and voices will be leaving an impression in your little one's brain. Your baby's spine has 1,000 ligaments, 150 joints, and 33 vertebrae. Blood vessels are busy developing inside the lungs and nostrils are beginning to open. Now that your baby has fully developed hands, loud noises may even prompt Junior to cover its tiny ears to shield them from sounds. Oh my goodness, that always amazes me. It always shocks me. Just the Here, hang on. Foot cramp. You're a little crooked. You're still crooked, but now I've got a foot cramp. Oh man, our floor is dusty. It always shocks me when I read how baby has developed and what baby's doing right now and what's happening inside my belly. Like, God is so good. He's forming this perfect tiny human in my womb, and it's just amazing. First, we're going to talk about the ultrasound. If you are new here and haven't been following along, I can leave videos in the description box for you to go and watch to catch up. But basically, I was diagnosed with Placenta Previa at my 20-week anatomy scan. Last week, I had a follow-up ultrasound just to get a clear picture of what exactly was going on. And the results came in, and that's where I left off. I have not told you the results yet. So basically, the placenta is butted right up against the cervix, but it's not actually covering it. So this is called a marginal placenta previa. I think it's the most mild form of placenta previa, and my doctor is confident that it's going to move. I don't really have anything to worry about. I do have one more ultrasound at 32 weeks just to make sure that everything is good to go. But my doctor is confident. She feels good about it. I feel good about it. And it's just such good news, such an answer to prayer. I mean, any answer would be an answer to prayer, but this is just good news. I want to give a big thank you to everyone who has been praying for us and praying for baby, praying for me. I can feel your prayers and I really appreciate them. So, new developments in the last month. The first one is kind of a concerning one. I've been experiencing a good amount of spotting. Not like a lot at once, but frequent spotting. That's the word I'm looking for, frequent spotting. I have had very mild spotting in all of my pregnancies. Usually more towards the end, like the middle to end of my pregnancies. And it's just because my cervix is really sensitive, so it often happens after sex. There will be spotting the next day usually, but it's always very light. Not enough to be concerning. But with the whole placenta previa situation and the fact that it was happening more and more frequently, I did mention it to my doctor and she told us to abstain from having sex and just to take it easy, to be careful, to not disturb anything, and to just until we at least knew the news from the ultrasound, because in the case that it was a more severe case of placenta previa, if the placenta would be disturbed, it could cause a lot of bleeding and it would be really bad. But now that everything looks good with the placenta, we are in the clear. I haven't had a lot of spotting since. It was for like 2 or 3 weeks around the 20-week mark that I was just experiencing very frequent spotting, and it wasn't like straight up blood, but it would be blood mixed in with cervical mucus, and I have a lot of cervical mucus when I'm pregnant, and it was almost every time I went to the bathroom I would wipe and there would be some blood in the cervical mucus. So it was just more frequent, not, you know, crazy amounts, but it was there. Thankfully everything seems to be okay, and I haven't had any spotting for a couple of weeks now, so I think that's a really good sign. But my cervix just gets really quite sensitive in pregnancy. Anything, whether it be sex or a change in hormones or a change in like my body, you know, anything like that can disturb it and cause it to bleed. Leg cramps have started again. It's only happened once so far, but every pregnancy I've had leg cramps, and it's always in the middle of the night. I wake up to this burning pain in my leg. So far it's only happened once, but as the pregnancy goes on, I know it's just gonna happen more and more frequently. Not exactly a very pleasant way to wake up in the middle of the night, but it is what it is. For the most part, round ligament pain is starting to fade, and it's being replaced by lightning crotch already. 24 weeks, and I've already been experiencing very mild lightning crotch. This is something I've experienced with all of my pregnancies. It's never been like exceptionally bad, but it's always been there, especially in the 3rd trimester. I've been feeling very just like mild forms of it, nothing crazy. It just really depends how baby is sitting, where baby is kicking, how full my bladder is, how bloated I am, you know, all those things kind of play into effect. Why does Zach have so many clothes in the wash? I have one shirt and he has a mountain. Frequent need to pee is something that continues to happen. Some days it's really bad and I'm going pee like every 15 minutes. Some days it's fine and I don't really feel a need to pee very often. It really just depends how baby's sitting. Again, where baby's kicking. When baby kicks my bladder, I tell you, it is a very uncomfortable feeling. Sleeping is off and on. Most nights are pretty good. But if I ever have to like actually get up and out of bed in the middle of the night, whether it be to pee, whether it be to go to attend to my children, I will probably be up for an hour or 2 hours and not able to fall asleep. The initial falling asleep is really not a problem. It's the waking up in the middle of the night and then going back to sleep that's the issue. So nights when I don't have to get up to pee, when I don't have to get up to attend to the children, I have great sleeps, but some nights are kind of rough. I have been naturally waking up around 6:30 every morning. I think it helps that it's getting lighter outside, which is nice. Like, I like waking up earlier, and I think 6:30 is a really nice time to wake up. I get to wake up with the sunrise. I get to have some alone time before my kids wake up, and it's nice. I have no cravings. I have no food aversions. My diet has stayed basically exactly the same as it was before being pregnant. I haven't even really noticed an increased appetite at all, which I thought was a little odd because in all of my other pregnancies I have, look at this, I thrifted this little sleeper for baby. In my other pregnancies I have experienced an increase in appetite. This time I really haven't, but interestingly I've also gained a lot more weight in this pregnancy than I have in any other pregnancy. Kind of hard on me mentally as well. I did talk about this in the last vlog that just went live. I can link that below as well if you want to know more about that. And I just want you to know, if you are struggling with the number on the scale and just seeing your body changing before your eyes, it's normal and it's okay, but what your body is doing is amazing. I understand completely how you feel. We're in the same boat here. I have to try and remind myself every single day that what my body is doing is amazing and the number on the scale does not matter. The eye twitching I experienced in the very beginning is gone. Sneezing is still there on occasion. My nose is still really stuffy and sometimes it's really runny, and it's just generally really hard to breathe out of my nose, which isn't helping with the whole feeling out of breath thing. I am so out of breath. I say this all the time. I'm just out of breath. Along with being very out of breath, I've also been experiencing a lot of heart palpitations, which actually have been getting better than they were last time. I was experiencing them quite bad around 20 weeks. It's getting a little bit better, but it's just kind of annoying. Like it usually happens the most when I'm trying to fall asleep, and then I just have such a hard time breathing because all of a sudden my heart starts racing. And then I'm like panting, and then it calms down and I'm fine. And then it starts racing and I'm panting again. And it's like, how am I supposed to calm down and actually go to sleep? Heart palpitations is something new. I haven't experienced that with other pregnancies, but it is a totally normal thing just because there is a big increase in the amount of blood in my body, and that's just how my heart is reacting this time, I guess. Varicose veins. I don't think I mentioned this for a little while, but the varicose veins are slowly getting worse, which is to be expected. I didn't have any with my first pregnancy. I got them with my second one, and now they're just getting worse with each pregnancy. I don't have them on my legs. I have them on my lady parts, on my butt, and they're kind of spreading out, and they don't really hurt. They hurt after having sex. That's when they hurt the most. And for some reason, they hurt a lot when I sit down on the toilet, and I think it's just because gravity is really taking place there, and they just feel so heavy and achy, and they hurt. For the most part, I don't really notice them, and it's not really a big deal. But there are times where it's just, it's hard to stand for long periods of time, and I need to rest and take a break. Digestive issues are getting worse as baby starts taking up more space. My body is having a harder time with digestion, which is something I've always dealt with all my life. I do have IBS, and digestive issues is just part of my everyday, and it's just getting worse now that everything's getting squished. I usually feel great in the morning after breakfast, and then after having lunch, and then after having supper, it just starts to feel I get very bloated. I feel very big and full. Then I have indigestion, and it's just, a whole thing. I feel very physically limited now, more than I ever have in my life. And it's not something that I'm used to. I'm not used to feeling this way, and it can be really hard, especially since there is a lot required of me every single day. I need to take care of my family. I need to feed my family. I need to work to feed my family. It's not easy for me to just relax and to take a step back, but I know I need to. It's just frustrating when you know that you should, or you used to be able to do all these things without a problem, and now everything feels like such a challenge. In other news, the kicks are getting stronger. I'm really starting to feel them all across my belly all at once, and it's so fun just watching because it looks like my belly is doing the wave. It looks like it's dancing, and it's really cool because I know that there's little feet and legs and everything just moving and wiggling around in there. It's just so much fun to watch. And lastly, I am wondering, I don't know for sure because I haven't actually talked to my doctor yet, but I'm wondering if I might have an umbilical hernia. So my belly button, I'll show you in a minute, but my belly button is doing this weird thing where it's kind of an outie, but also still an innie. And it's never done this before. I've never had an outie ever. It's always just stayed in, it's always stayed flat, but this time I have a little bulge on the inside of my belly button, and I think it's kind of cute, honestly. I think it's cute. But when I shared this on Instagram, a few of you messaged me saying it could be an umbilical hernia, which after doing some research, sounds like it's a pretty rare thing in pregnant women. Let me just read to you what exactly an umbilical hernia is. An umbilical hernia occurs when part of your intestine bulges through the opening in your abdominal muscles near your belly button. They're more common in infants and children, but they're usually harmless. So I'm gonna talk to my doctor about that. Obviously, I have diastasis recti, which is when your abs split. I mean, after having 3 children and not ever really working out, that's just what's gonna happen. So I think they've just come to a point where they've separated so much that now my intestines are bulging through. Of course, I don't know for sure if that's what it is or not. This is all speculation at this point, but I will talk to my doctor about that at my next prenatal. I think that's kind of it. And the next thing to do would be to show you my belly. But in order to do that, I need to change into something that is not a dress. So let me do that. All right, here we are. The 24-week belly. It feels very round to me. Like with Theo, I was very low, kind of pointy, but this one looks very round, almost like there's a basketball in there. It just looks very round, feeling very big, although I know there is quite a long ways to go yet. This is what I mean by the umbilical hernia. It's like an innie, but it's also an outie. I don't really know what to think about that. So that is it. That is the 24-week belly. And that is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this little casual sit-down chat. If you are pregnant alongside me, comment down below. Let me know how far along are you, and let me know the craziest thing that you've experienced in this pregnancy. I want to know. I love these discussions. I love talking pregnancy. I love talking birth and newborns and all this stuff. I know you guys love it too. So let me know. Let's start a little discussion down in the comments, shall we? If you want to follow along more closely on this pregnancy journey, I do share a lot more often over on Instagram, so I'll leave my Instagram linked below for you to go and check out. That will also be the first place that I announce the birth of this baby. I know that's a little ways down the road yet, but I mean, like, I'm almost in my 3rd trimester. It's not that far away. Instagram is gonna be the place that I go to first because filming and then editing and then uploading just takes quite a bit more time. So YouTube will be the last to know. But anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.